Otunnu is competing against 7 other candidates, including former presidents, senior diplomats, and some of the UN's most experienced officials. But this is not his first attempt at the UN's top job. 3 decades ago, Otunnu was considered for the same position, only for his own government, led by President Yoweri Museveni, not to back his bid. Today, the political equation has changed dramatically. The same President Museveni who declined to support Otunnu then is now personally behind his candidacy, mobilizing Uganda's diplomatic machinery to try to take him to the top of the United Nations. It is a remarkable turnaround and one that makes Otunnu's current campaign all the more intriguing. The latest straw poll has given Uganda something to build on. In the first poll, Otunnu received 2 encouraged votes, 5 discouraged votes, and 8 countries expressing no opinion. In the second round, his encouraged votes rose to 5. His discouraged votes remained at 5, while those expressing no opinion fell to 5. That puts him in a stronger position than he was at the beginning, although he remains behind the leading candidates. For Kampala, the message is simple. The campaign is gaining traction, but it is far from over. Otunnu's strongest selling point is experience.
What I offer, if I'm given the opportunity to be Secretary General, is broad and very deep experience of working across all the 3 pillars of the UN. It is a track record of building consensus and offering innovative solutions in times of deadlock and crisis.
He knows the organization from the inside. He has spent decades negotiating international agreements, working with governments and dealing with some of the world's most difficult conflicts. This week, Otunnu faced one of the most important moments of his campaign. He addressed UN member states during an interactive dialogue at the General Assembly. He spoke about the need to reform the United Nations and make it more effective in responding to global crises. And he presented himself as a candidate who could bridge those divisions.
For the United Nations to discharge the responsibilities set out in the Charter, let me say this clearly and simply. Reform is no longer an optional choice. It is an imperative. Without it, the institution is at grave risk. We cannot continue to do business as usual.
But perhaps the most fascinating part of this campaign is the voting system itself. More than 40 years ago, Otunnu was involved in developing the informal straw poll system used to assess candidates for UN Secretary General. The idea was to allow Security Council members to signal whether they encourage, discourage, or have no opinion about a candidate. The objective is to identify candidates capable of building consensus and expose those facing serious opposition. Today, Otunnu is experiencing that formula from the other side.
St. Francis of Assisi, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. I would embrace this role with the same passion, commitment that I've shown in every leadership position I've had here.
The straw poll itself does not elect the Secretary General. The 15-member Security Council must eventually agree on a candidate and recommend that person to the General Assembly. But there is another crucial hurdle. The Security Council has 5 permanent members: the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom. Any one of them can block a candidate. So Otunnu must not only attract votes, he must become acceptable to the major powers.
I just hope that you will give consideration to this candidature and that what I bring may be helpful for the UN at this critical moment and the kind of leadership it needs.
For now, Otunnu's campaign has moved from survival to possibility. 5 encouraged votes do not make him the front runner, but they show that his candidacy is gaining attention. That's all the time we have for Diplomatic Watch tonight. I'm Daniel Kibet.